Welcome to La Vida Rosa. I'm your host Pinky, and today we're going to be talking about Love is Blind Season 3, Episodes 8 through 10. We're going to see 2 of the weddings. So if you'd like to see more, then just stay tuned. Like, comment, and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into this video. So y'all, by the time I made it to the end of this last episode, I think we all know none of these people should get married. Not one couple. Okay, these episodes just made me lose all faith. What I realized about myself through these shows is I am sort of like a hopeless romantic in a way. More on the logical side when it comes to this. Like, I just don't think, anything will work because of love. But I just would like for it to work out. But only if it's healthy for you in the long run. If you're both willing to put in the work. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. A lot of these couples, even if one is fully invested, the other, I'm giving a side eye. So with that being said, let me just go ahead and get started with Alexis and Brennan. So when she introduced him to her friends, they were not impressed at all when he walked in. The way they talked about him though, like, it was a little rude. Like, oh yeah, like, what is that? Like, that is not her usual type. Like, okay, even if that's not her usual type, this is about to be her husband potentially, and y'all are being very superficial when the whole point of meeting someone on Love is Blind is to fall in love with someone not based off looks, not who her usual physical type would be. And then they pointed out that he was very conservative, but I don't know, they didn't seem to have any issues when they sat down about him being conservative. Like, I mean, her friend group is very diverse and he didn't have a problem with it. Like, I don't know. It just, like, it felt like they were looking for an issue or they were looking for a moment, because, like, they were, like, trying to drill him and make him sweat, but they made him look stupid because he was so nonchalant. Like, did she put a bug in y'all ear and tell y'all to do this? Because it didn't make any sense why they were going so hard on him, and the man didn't say nothing wrong. He didn't do nothing wrong. Like, he clearly cared about her. Like, I don't know. I just thought that was weird. He is a stranger, and I understand your friends want to grill whoever you're going to be with, especially if this is your first time. Like, let's, But the way they were doing it was just, I don't know. It's like they wanted camera time. So it's getting closer to the wedding. They go and sit down with her father, I believe her grandfather, and they talk about the Jewish faith and, the things that they're going to participate in during this ceremony. And they let him know, according to the Jewish faith, the kids will be Jewish no matter what. And, once again, he was willing to take a class to learn more about it. They're going to have something called a ketubah. I believe that's how you say it. And it's like very similar to a prenup. And basically in it, he promises to still take care of Alexa and her children even after they divorce. I would have a lawyer look over that, because what does that entail? I don't know. Alexa just comes off as really shallow to me, y'all. Like, the more I hear her speak, the more I feel like she kind of just wants to get married to say she has a husband. Like, she constantly is like, I don't think she's saying this to the women's face, but in her confessionals, like, we have the best relationship. I feel like he's way more intentional than she is with how he speaks on her versus how she speaks on him. When she talks about him as how much he loves me, how much he cares about me, she doesn't really seem to be truly interested in him. In fact, I think she wants to kind of change him and mold him into kind of what she wants in a way. And he's kind of like passive enough to do that. Okay, let's move on to Zeynep and Cole. Both of them are walking red flags. Both. Now, Cole, it's more in your face. Like, I feel like you shouldn't even have to do a deep dive on Cole to see that. Like, he's like, the red flag is literally, the alarm is going off. Like, I don't know if y'all have ever watched Degrassi, but he reminds me of JT. That's literally how Cole acts, and it's so annoying and draining. But we gonna get into Zeynep too. He ends up apologizing to Zeynep because, remember, she called him out for having that conversation with Colleen and talking about how much, he was attracted to her and saying she was a 10 and she was a 9. Like, I don't know. The apology was very hollow to me. I feel like when he did call her beautiful, it was sarcastic. Like, I don't know. I just didn't believe him. She verbally accepted his apology, but she still has an attitude about it. I would too, because I would feel like it wasn't real, but be real though. Like, does she not a part of me feels like she's not in touch with her real emotions. Neither of them look happy. You know what I'm saying? They're both really passive aggressive, and it's annoying. When they went to put that lock on the bridge, and he dropped it, but he really had another one, that was so corny. Like, I be wanting to fast forward through their scenes so bad. Like, I literally put the speed on 1.5. Like, let's get through this. I'm tired of y'all. The parents come up. They only want to meet her after they're married. I guess they want to make sure they're serious about this. I think it's still odd, suspicious, and weird that they don't want to meet her. And then later on in the episode, his parents said that she is not who they pictured him being with. And why is that? You don't even know her yet. You're not even willing to meet her. So you have to be going off how she looks, and she's POC. So is that the problem? Like, y'all, I don't know, Zenab. I think you should take that as a warning and take heed to it, because his family just don't seem like they gonna be as welcoming to you as he's trying to make it seem. So then we get to their date night, which turned out to be fight night, child. He cooked for her, and she literally criticized every last move he made. Now, is he annoying? Is he, not clean, and you low-key gotta watch him because, their apartment was so dirty, it would make me want to be a little concerned about him preparing my food as well. But for her to, like, literally take over and criticize every single move, she's just so uptight. Let your hair down. It's so annoying that you can't go with the flow sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Anybody would be annoyed by that. But I will say he is a doof. So he kind of invites that sort of energy when she's already like that. They start talking about their chemistry, and I don't feel like they have any. Y'all are always arguing when y'all talk to each other. Y'all really talk at each other, and it's very passive aggressive, but it's very aggressive nonetheless. She talks about his weird quirks, like she doesn't have any. You throw your used towels in the tub, and you throw your shed hair in the toilet. I don't know. She wants people to use the bathroom after you threw your hair in. Why not just throw it in the trash? He is nasty though. That's the thing. Like, it's not like I can completely ever be on his side, but it's like, girl, you ain't perfect. He starts being halfway honest about their relationship, because she's being very delusional. Like, she's trying to act like their problems are not enough for her to not want to get married to him, or for their love to not be strong enough to carry them through. Like, you will criticize this man for the full duration of your date and be like, but I still love you. Why would anybody be comfortable with that? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're so in love, but you constantly are speaking to him in a condescending way. I don't think you talk to people that you love like that. Here he goes with his immature ways. He asked if she was bipolar. And, that was rude. So she stormed out, and, he ran behind her. They apologized, blah. Same old story with them. They have the same cycle literally every episode. As the episodes pass, Cole just looks more and more disheveled every time I see him. I don't know if it's because of that scruff he got on his face, but he just always looked disheveled, and he just looked barely put together, child. She went to the bachelorette party. The girls thinks that she's way too good for Cole. She looks wise, yes. Personality wise, she has things to work on herself. But she said that he had strong feelings about her going to the strip club, but she was like all in it. It's not like she was trying to hold back in any way. Actually, the only person that didn't go all out, as far as I'm concerned, is Raven, and she was like, I'm too old for this. Okay, let's move on to Colleen and Matt. So when we last saw them, he was going off. He had packed all his clothes and was ready to leave because she decided to go to the club. The way that he made it seem that they agreed that they were going to go home, and she decided to go to the club instead and didn't answer his call when she called him. If that were true, I would kind of be on his side. Like, you should let people know. You shouldn't just go to the club and not let your man know. You know what I'm saying? You should, be upfront and let him know that. But that's not even how it went. She said that after their whole outing, the men decided to go home, and the women decided they wanted to do like a girls' night out. And, I guess he was really drunk when she said that, or he didn't hear it, or whatever. They had a miscommunication. And so whenever he FaceTimed her, he saw her at the club and he started packing without even having a conversation about it. And he's completely emotionally unstable. Point blank, period. If that's really the case and she came home and saw you packing, I would have just been done. I wouldn't even play that game with him. Every time we have a argument, at the slightest inconvenience, you want to get up and leave, you ain't got to worry about me. I'm not even gonna play this game with you. Every time you get mad, you want to leave. Bye. I wouldn't even play this game with her. So part of me feels like Colleen is sticking around because she want to be on TV. Because why are you putting up with this? I don't feel the love between you two. I don't feel like this is worth it. The way y'all are trying to sell this relationship, I'm not buying it. Apparently they were able to talk through it and he stayed. Y'all, he wasn't never going nowhere. He just liked to throw his weight around. So then they meet up with his friends and they let her know that, you know, what we all know is that his past relationship really did a number on him. He was able to move forward in other areas of his life, but when it came to dating, he could never get past 2 dates with a woman. He was shut down. And it just sounds like you're not over it. Like every time you talk about it, it just sounds like you're not over it. Like everybody tries to act like he is, but he hasn't done the work. They talk about their fights as if they're just small fights when he literally packed up during the last one and was ready to leave. The friend already know he be yelling. The friend was like, yeah, he do yell. I'm just like, what, y'all think that's okay? And she was just sitting there trying to explain away his toxic behavior. The same thing when she met up with her parents. It's sad because it's like she couldn't even get deep with her parents. She couldn't even, like, you know, have a deeper conversation with them. I thought that was a little bit odd. So then they went on their date and he was like, could you see yourself with me? Staying with him long term, I guess. And she was like, I don't know, like, why, how could she when you run at the slightest inconvenience in y'all's relationship? When they were having this conversation, he was just constantly badgering her with questions. And, you know, at one point he asked her, well, do you think love is enough? And she was kind of like, you know, going back and forth, I don't know. And then he was like, say it, 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 say it. Y'all, that creeped me out so bad. I was ready for her to go. Like, leave this man alone. This is not worth it. This TV time is not worth it. He is too toxic. He's constantly overreacting. Like, why would you ask her a question that you know a potential answer could have been no, and you're being so, I was finna say passive, but no, you're being aggressive with, like, trying to force her to answer. Let's move on to Nancy and Bartise. I'm gonna bring up his hair every single time. Child, okay? I don't know what's going on with that, Bartise, but you need a better barber. I just think you need to cut it off and start over because it's the Leaning Tower of Pisa. I hate it. Every time I see it, it makes you look even more corny. I think you would look better with waves. But anyway, he's been tired of her, child. His excuse is that her ex is too involved with her business and, you know, she's pro-choice. And so he's using that as an excuse for him not being attracted to her physically. He's been very standoffish and nasty about it instead of being honest and upfront like a grown man should be. So she confronted him about his behavior. She said he had her sobbing all night. I'm like, over Bartise? Ugh. And she also called him out for being immature. He basically apologized so he wouldn't look bad. That's what I feel like. He gave a bunch of generic reasons as to why they should stay together. Even though, you know, y'all do disagree on some fundamental things, I will admit. But I don't think that's the reason why you don't want to be with her. But yeah, that apology was not sincere to me. Nothing about him is sincere to me. But she accepted it with open arms, child. She didn't challenge him one time. She just accepted him. She doesn't see the red flags with him. Like, not for real. She's not taking him seriously. He goes tuck shopping. And he's with his sister, and he told her that when he sent a picture of Nancy to his group chat, they asked him, like, what was he doing? Basically, like, questioning, why are you with someone that's not as attractive as you or something? First of all, I don't even know if that really went down like that because Bartise loves to over-exaggerate. Just, I don't know, borderline lie. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how real that was, especially when we saw his friends. I know those ain't the one that said that, okay? Let's say that they did. Why didn't you shut that down? That's your fiance. Like, regardless of, because let me tell you something. There's been plenty of times where I've been attracted to guys and my friends were like, really, you're attracted to them? I'm not going to allow you to talk about someone that I love or care about in a negative way just because you don't find them attractive. I do. So that's all that should matter at the end of the day. So you should have shut that down as a man and not let your friends say stuff like that about your fiance. Oh, I just feel like he's just building up reasons as to why he's going to say no on their wedding day, because low-key, I just feel like that's where that's going. The wedding day comes, and why is it that whenever he talks about the first meeting that she had with his family, why did he act like that was a complete disaster? I don't remember. Like, yeah, they disagreed and your sister did cry, which I think she was being over dramatic. At the end of it, they seemed like they were good with her. Your sister was talking about how much she loved the fact that y'all were together and she's good for you and everything. So why? I feel like he's just, like I said, he's just trying to build up a resume to show why he shouldn't be with her when that's not even an actual issue. They don't have nothing to do with your family. Like, they seem like they are all for it now. Every time we see them talk about her, it's always good. They never bring up anything bad. She sent him a gift before the wedding. It was a bunch of sentimental things. It wasn't expensive, like little things you can get from CVS, but it was sentimental to their relationship. And he did break down crying because it was so thoughtful. And then in return, he sent her a shot because clearly he didn't even think to give her a gift. And I was like, girl, you be accepting the bare minimum, because when they got to that altar, she did say yes, but it ended on a cliffhanger. So we have to wait on his answer. I low-key feel like he's going to say no, but he might say yes just to save face so he won't embarrass her and he won't look like a bad guy, because he's been looking like a bad guy this entire season. Finally, let's talk about Raven and SK. She went shopping for her wedding with his mom. I believe that was it his sister? I forgot who that was. So they were getting traditional Nigerian garb for her. She was gonna, wear like a nice little headpiece. When she put it on, she said she felt like Cardi B. I was like, why? Cardi B ain't Nigerian. Like, that was weird. I love that she fully embraces the Nigerian culture. But she did want to make sure to include some American aspects, because they taking over a little bit. They kind of like really taking over the wedding. She wanted to, include some things that she wants as well. But I like the fact that she's being so inclusive with them. So then they sit her down and they tell her what you should do. This is the number one thing you should do as a wife, child. You keep food in that house, okay? I forgot the dishes that they said that she should make, but they said you better keep some food in that house. If you make more money than him, you need to humble yourself. And I'm not gonna lie, I probably would have been over it. But you know what? This is nothing new. Like, when you talk to older women, especially older black women that have been married, this is not unique to Nigerian culture. This is black people across the board. A lot of black women will tell you the same thing. I'm sure in the back of her mind, she was like, okay. So then their cultural differences come up. More on his end. He feels like it's crucial for his family to be involved in not only his wedding, but just in, their little family as well. Family is big to him. And his mom's biggest concern is that her family is not coming. And that's very abnormal for their culture. And she told him, like, I have a small family. My mom, her mom talked to SK. She likes him, but she doesn't want to be on TV, clearly. She doesn't have any siblings. Her grandmother is sick, so she can't come. Her grandpa has passed away. Her uncle having a baby. Like, I kind of see where she's coming from with that, because I'm an only child and my dad has passed away. He wasn't really in my life too much anyway, but, I have my mom, I have my grandma, but if God forbid anything happened to them, I wouldn't have them to be able to show up. Like, I feel like I would kind of be in a similar predicament depending on, at what point in my life you would catch me. So I think it's not fair that they're kind of like judging her on that. She feels attacked because, that's something that's out of her control. And, pretty much she let them have reign of everything else. Like, what more do you want from me? That's the second time I just say this review. Like, what more do you want from her? She's giving y'all everything y'all are asking for. except for the things that she can't. She feels like he needs to have her back and defend her because she fully embraced his culture, and I totally agree. Like, you know, he could do more to defend her. Okay, we get to the wedding day. I love the traditional garb that they had, the women wearing the headpieces, the men wearing the traditional outfits. I even loved SK's full from the hat down to, I loved it. It's so dramatic, and it's so like fabulous. I love all of that. And she chose like a traditional white wedding dress, which I thought her dress was beautiful. She still wore like a turban and like the veil on top, so she was very, you know, she still had her Nigerian-esque part of her outfit. He seemed like he was very like calm and very sure of his decision until like right before the ceremony, and he was talking to his mom, and I felt like she was very sincere like throughout the whole ceremony. You know, she shed tears saying her vows and everything. He ended up saying no, and I was quite like, even though I didn't see the chemistry between them, I was very shocked. Like, I couldn't believe he said no. But you know, when he told us why he said no, the circumstances, you know, they have some disagreements, they have some things that haven't necessarily worked out yet. It made sense. Like, they're gonna be long distance for 2 years, and to be married to someone and in a long distance relationship, like, that's a lot to ask, you know. His family was utterly shocked though. His mama, his brother, they was upset, baby. His mama was upset. That was 100% a black mama reaction, okay? And the way she reacted, it was kind of, I felt bad. Because I do feel like she was sincere, and she looked hurt, but like she was trying to save face, but almost a little bit relieved at the same time. Like, even when the mother came back and was trying to console her, I think at the end of the day, Raven is on the same page. It didn't feel like the end for them, and I did end up coming across her Instagram page. It popped up on my feed, and I think they're still together based off of those posts. They don't seem to have any bad blood in the very least. They don't have to get married to date each other and see for, you know, if this is actually going to be good for them in the long run. You know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with taking your time. I'm not going to villainize SK. I still don't think SK is a bad man. So y'all let me know how y'all feel down below. We saw 2 weddings, well, 1.5, child. Y'all let me know what y'all think down below. Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me? I would love to hear your opinion, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Peace.